Oh, that's weird. I thought I accepted it. I don't know why I didn't. I mean, I think these people are fucking stupid. It's like, dude, you should wait until the person actually moves to make sure that they're here. Oh, that's fine. It's a good team. Long would be kind of better, but it's fine. Yeah. I mean, the good thing is, yeah, it's a good team because we get little dendro. Having a hydro is good because it creates the dendro core, so that when you electrify, so it's not purely just the aggravates you're getting. And no, this is exactly what you should do as a Furina the second any fight starts. Swap to healing mode, put out your heal. Maybe people don't need it. Fine. Shit, people are dumb. They got hit already. Wait, what? They died? Did my guys disappear? Yeah. Maybe my ads disappeared. I mean, to be fair, they could have died super quickly, but it also could be that my ads disappeared. I did swap to healing mode, but like, if they were dead by that point, it'd be too late. Yeah, it's probably dead now. There we go. But yeah, the main point is you want to make sure, as Furina, you're swapping the healer. Obviously, I might have fucked up then. I think what happened is even though I swapped the healing, I think my ads had my skill had duration had fallen off. So even though I swapped the healing, my healing ad wasn't out, and so yeah, it's kind of hard to tell in the thick of things when there's so much shit going on to find my own ad. But at the end of the day, it's my fault. Well, I mean, to be fair, like it was only one player, so it could have just been a combination of they could have taken too many hits too quickly too. That does happen. That guy's a toughie. I'm not quite sure. I don't really know the timing for his I'm not great on his timing for dodging that shit. So like, it's like, yeah, he does that like slash through the air. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't think it's not that doesn't do damage, but then it explodes, and that's what does the damage. So you kind of have to make sure to dodge at that point. So his Furina sword, what a weird choice. I think actually no, Furina sword I think is fine. The problem with Furina sword though It increases skill damage. I don't know. Actually, no. I guess when she goes in her, if she presses her skill, is that mode? Does that count as skill damage? Is all that? I guess if it is, then it's still a pretty good weapon because it's a crit damage weapon. It's a crit damage main stat, substat. The main stat is crit damage, which is pretty good. Generally good for everything. So I guess maybe. And I think she does get extra. I think she does get different damage for. So looking at it, I think it does get. Let's see. Actually, where's my skirt? Oh, never mind. I don't want to be in a menu. If you're in a menu, see they did it too quickly. Oh, I could do this. It's not. I don't know. Are you gonna swap to not that? Okay, you're not. Okay, fuck it then. I'll swap to this. Actually, I find this weird, right? She was staying as Skirk up until this point. She was staying as Skirk up until that point. Yeah, basically she doesn't want to go in. I mean, it's fine. She doesn't get the full bonus, right? She doesn't get the full bonus, but this is fine too, right? As long as there's other people who can freeze, which unfortunately just. Yeah, so the idea is if it's a freeze team. Yeah, so the point is that Scrofia gives a massive increase in damage. Now, obviously, Mulaney is not actually the best choice because we need someone who can actually apply Hydro a lot, especially because all of us are freeze team, because all of us are cryo. So, her being that is like, dude, literally any Hydro catalyst would be better. The fact that we just need you to apply Hydro, that's it. That's all we need you to do. And you as Mulaney don't really do much damage. Well, you get damage buffs, basically. Not terrible. I mean, obviously their damage is really good, so they must be a really good, really well-built Skirk. But yeah. Oh no, I guess the big one still counts. Okay. Yeah, so basically that was the whole thing. Is that Pyro would have been fine, right? I was like, oh, it could be Escoffier. The main reason why you want to do a freeze team is that Escoffier gets a huge increase in her buff when it's a freeze team. And so you really want to use her in a freeze team. So I think she's bad against anything. Like, in the team we had, it wasn't terrible, right? So her talent, this, right? Is that reduces Hydro and Cryo resistance. So even with if it was just Risley, Escoffier, and Skirk, we would have still gotten that 15% resistance reduction. But as you can see, if you go full freeze team, that resistance reduction goes up 40 fucking percent. Like, that's a humongous increase, right? So obviously that's really, 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 really good. And so having her in a freeze team is good. Now, it's not that she's bad in non-pure freeze teams, right? Having Hydro and Cryo is fine. And if she wanted to be Mavica, I would have just been Furina, right? That way, because the thing with Skirk is a little tricky, is that you need other characters to trigger Frozen, Superconduct, Cryo Swirl, or Cryo Crystallize. So you basically need other characters to trigger cryo-related reactions, of which Melt is not included, as you can see. So it needs to be Frozen is Hydro, Superconduct is Electro, Swirl is Anemo, and Crystallize is Geo. So every element, obviously Dendro doesn't count because Dendro doesn't react at all. Every reaction but with Pyro team members. So, and the point of this is that she gets extra energy and stuff, and these void rifts are used to power her skill and burst. So, how many did I get assigned? Oh, okay, that's fine, I guess. But yeah, so the point is that in a Skirk team, you really don't want to be all cryo anyway. So you want at least one Hydro, and realistically, maybe two, depending on how good the Hydro is as a Hydro applicator. That's why I was like, Mulaney's not the best, because the idea is that she needs, when she's in her skill form, you want to charge her thing up 3 times by touching 3 things, or touching the same thing 3 times, so that she has a full charge of her skill, and then she does her skill. Now, maybe each touch counts, like, does apply Hydro, so maybe that's fine, but I don't think it does. So I think the problem is she's only applying Hydro when her skill is active every time she gets 3 charges, which can happen quickly in lots of enemies, but against one enemy, it takes like a second or 2. So she's just not applying Hydro that frequently. And we need her to apply Hydro a lot so that Risley can... So she can trigger a freeze with Risley, so I can trigger a freeze with her as well. And that's so when we have Cryo on them, she can trigger a freeze, a reverse freeze, right? And with all 3 of us triggering freezes, Skirk gets 3 little Void Rifts that she can do this. Now, technically, it can only trigger every 2.5 seconds, so I guess Mulaney's not the worst, because even if she has her skill active, she is at least using her skill every 2.5 seconds, so she's at least reapplying Hydro every 2.5 seconds. But yeah, so ideally you just kind of want something that does it a lot, though. So, anyway, and let me go over here. Just 1 sec, I need to deal with something real quick.
感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると、波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。物事を観察するときは目に頼りすぎちゃいけないよ。人は見たいものだけを見る癖がある。大事なのは自分を過信しないことだ。アシュルがなぜカウンターの上にいるかって？ 接客さ。餌代を稼がないとだろ。感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。アシュルがなぜカウンターの上にいるかって？接客さ。餌代を稼がないとだろ。感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。物事を観察するときは目に頼りすぎちゃいけないよ。人は見たいものだけを見る癖がある。大事なのは自分を過信しないことだ。 アシュルがなぜカウンターの上にいるかって？接客さ。餌代を稼がないとだろ。物事を観察するときは目に頼りすぎちゃいけないよ。人は見たいものだけを見る癖がある。大事なのは自分を過信しないことだ。感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。アシュルがなぜカウンターの上にいるかって？接客さ。 餌代を稼がないとだろう。物事を観察するときは目に頼りすぎちゃいけないよ。人は見たいものだけを見る癖がある。大事なのは自分を過信しないことだ。感情とは頭の中で荒れ狂う波みたいなものだ。それを無理に沈めようとすると波に飲まれて心の深いところまで落とされてしまう。かといって無視すれば心がバラバラになってしまうんだ。物事を観察するときは目に頼りすぎちゃいけないよ。人は見たいものだけを見る癖がある。大事なのは自分を過信しないことだ。アシュルがなぜカウンターの上にいるかって？接客さ。餌代を稼がないとだろう。
Oh, I gotta play all sorts. Holy shit, Bennett is like the...
インスピレーションが湧いてきました。メモしておきたいので少し待っていただけますか。
お茶会は淑女の必修科目さ。お茶会における礼儀作法を学びたいなら。
Yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, the reason why I said that is because...
I think that's a different either. I feel like usually it comes to one of the story voices. But in terms of captaincy, kind of like that. Again, not alone. It's like actually teaching your wife, you know, it's a lot of voice. You know, that's very different. And because I feel like being either pitching those stupid voices, because then if you have a person who's judging my ability to do stupid voices, then it's good to
つまんないの。何か
ズレ
面白いこ
ズレ
とは
なる
ないかい？
ままにひくらしすずりに向かい。
私の瞳をじっと見つめるのはやめた方が。
I can't even think of it. Like, I can't hear what's going on.
逃げ道はありません。無我の境地、貫く。呼吸無力。裁きの無礼者。呼吸無力。暴力。稲光、すなわち永遠なり。嫉妬。ヒュッ。逃げ道はありません。
再構成します。
世界の熱狂の渦に。
無我の境地、貫く。凡庸だ。見た目はしまい。稲光、すなわち永遠なり。そこ。
ダウンします。
見切りました。
世界の熱狂の渦に。
断絶。裁きの雷。無我の境地。
清掃を開始します。
そこ。僕の名のもとに。
見切りました。裁きの雷。
交換しました。
ここより弱滅の
世界の熱狂の渦に。
福育の糧。
見切りました。
Yeah, this sucks. It's gonna take a while because the fucking Arlecchino's a moron.
ここより弱滅の時。
Yeah, I need to get around to play. I need to get around to playing God of War. It's on my bucket list, but there's so many games I want to play. Like I have God of War and Ragnarok. I just haven't. Was that the main character? Was that the actual player? Jesus Christ. Oh, whoops, fuck, shit. I didn't get... I mean, you can share whatever you want. I don't mind. Okay, so I got my resin spending out of the way, so now it's time to... Okay, which is... Okay, shit, I gotta do this now. 4 days to do this, goddamn. Slacked off way too much. There's no real reason to refuse either. It's like, oh, you want to go get some books? Fine, fair. Like, hey, it's cool. Like, nope, 100% will not. I do not need any art at all. Oh, Cyrus. Yeah. He was part of... Oh, it's been so long since I had a quest with this dude. No, he was actually part of... He was actually... Is he the teacher? Is he the teacher of Sino, maybe? Is that what it was? I think he was.
ここに何して
But yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing. Is that's what I really like about this game, and how this game just beats the shit out of Wuthering Waves, is that, like, the characters don't, like, just disappear, right? So, like, in Rinascita dropped, and, like, you literally do not interact with a single fucking Jinzo character at all. They don't reach out to you, they don't call, they don't do shit. And of course, I mean, okay, so I said literally, but it's not literally, figuratively. I think there might have been an event or two. Since I've stopped, I'm not sure what events have happened, and if they maybe involved Jinzo characters in this quest, but, like, basically it's just like, yeah, like, and it's just a running gag where it's just like, yeah, you had a character in a previous patch, okay, they're just not going to appear again ever, you know? They even did a analysis where they're like, okay, here's all the characters, and here's the last time each of these characters was seen in game, right? And pretty much every Jinzo character was not seen. I think there was like one or two that there might have been an event where it was like, oh, here's an event, and this person popped up in that event. But it's like one character pops up, and you could argue, well, look, it's only one character, just Cole. It's like, well, first of all, yeah, it's just Cole. However, I think Cyrus is the teacher of Cyno, so it's referencing Cyno. And then of course the quest is not done, so we'll see what else is involved. But still, it's just like, this is just all the time, right? Like, all the time there are quests, there are these events, and all the time previous characters from previous zones are included. And sometimes the events are just even located in old areas. Like when the fungal thing happened, we popped back in Sumeru. Like, even though we were in the Fontaine patch era, it was like, no, go back to Sumeru because we're doing some more fungal buddies shit. So it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool, right? So the story of this game is good. It's actually cohesive. The setting of the world makes sense. They do lots of throwbacks to old characters to kind of keep them and the zone they're from in your mind. Whereas like Wuthering Waves, it's like, nope, we're just only looking forward. And it just feels like, because of how shoddy their story is, and the fact that they abandon their characters immediately after being used, you're just like, oh, okay. Like, it feels like they're just like, they don't have enough people in their team, and they just keep fucking going. Fucking course, I get another one. Wait, what? Wait, what? So, yeah. So yeah, like the fact is, it's like, it just feels like they're just. I mean, maybe their writing department is just heavily underused. Like maybe, or they just don't have that many people in the writing department. But it's just like, yeah, the story is just roughshod. It contradicts itself. Contradicts the world settings that exist. They just abandon characters the second they're not in use. Like the painting girl appeared in her patch and for the event, and has literally never been seen again. And you'd be like, oh, well, that was ages ago. It's like, well, it wasn't even 1.0. It was like 1.3 or something she appeared. And she just was never referenced again. She just popped up for that one quest, her character quest, and was, I think, also popped up in the event of that patch, and just never referenced ever. You know? So it's just like, it's just crazy, right? It is just crazy. It's just bad. It makes the world feel cheap, right? It makes everything feel cheap, really. It's just like, yeah, we're just not gonna include anything.
先ほど賢者の執務室から出てきたところ、何かあったのかと。これは本当に。
ああ、そんなに。いや、
なんて謙虚な子じゃ。わしそっくりじゃな。
いやいやいや、あ、別にジュライセンさんが謙虚じゃないって言ってるわけじゃなくて。
Okay, it was annoying to deal with this shit. Interrupted like this, but anyway. But yeah, like that's what I like about this game is that like, you know, it doesn't feel like they're abandoning the characters, right? It doesn't feel like they're abandoning the previous region, right? Like they take us back to the previous region. We get involved with characters like we now get involved with Cole, we were with Cyrus, who we actually interacted with as part of a quest NPC, I believe, for Cynos, for character quests or maybe even an event as well. So it's like the world feels interconnected, whereas like in Wuthering Waves, it was just like, oh, okay, you moved to the next area. Okay, well that's just fucking useless. Like that area is now dead and buried. Like you're just never gonna go there ever again. Like at least Black Shores is referenced. But, like, basically, since you left there from the start, Renacida, I don't think you've ever gone back. I think maybe Shorekeeper is maybe referenced. Like, there are some characters that do seem to be related to the overarching plot, so I think Shorekeeper will probably pop up fairly regularly because of her relationship with Black Shores, and anytime you want to have a new Black Shores character, obviously it might remind us of her, but basically it just feels like, yeah, like Jinzo is just long forgotten. Like even, yeah, it's like we just didn't, and I just can't imagine it's going to be any different, right? I can't imagine that after Renacida and they go to the next area, that they'll be like, yeah, and let's bring our Renacida pals with us, or let's go back to Renacida and enjoy like a festival or something. You know, like it would make sense. Like there's the Troop of Fools, like it would make sense for them to throw like another play or a party. So you could have some sort of like in-game event revolving around like a real-world holiday, and be like, "Hey, it's this holiday. Let's go back to Renacida and like celebrate Mardi Gras or whatever, right? You know, something like that." But they just don't. And I understand like they're a Chinese company, so they don't have all the same like Western holidays. But like Genshin still celebrates the Chinese New Year. I don't know. I mean, I think the patch where we got the Painter Girl, I think that might have been, actually, no, I think it was in like September, so I don't know if they had a Chinese New Year event, but, oh, I told you I wasn't going to add you. I'm not going to add someone who's just trying to sell their shit that I've already said I'm not interested in. I don't need art, don't need it at all. Good luck trying to sell it to someone else. Okay, I'm back.
つまりこれ
Anyway, so,
代表として
how long I've been doing
サ
this?
バイバルガイドの説
Jesus
明
Christ, so I've been an hour, but no, I'm not even sweaty. That means I must have not been working, must have not been walking for most of that hour. It's annoying, because
そんな感じ
get like 20 minutes, I get like 10, 20 minutes of walking in, have to get pulled away for something, get another 10 to 20, not enough to really work up a sweat, not really enough to get my heart pumping.
私以外にもあ
Also,
そういえ
I
ば
have 4 days to do
まだ
this.
人手が足りてないから
4 days beyond today. So, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, so end of the week.
もし興味が
So I could do, I'll be basically, this is what I'll be doing for this week. Starting and finishing up this quest.
協力
And then also the
コレイが参加
other one. I might just start this, get this quest done, and then immediately go to the next one.
今回は
But I'm not really sure what this is involved. But yeah,
そうだぞ
like,
わしのことも信じてくれ
that's what I just like
人の力
about this game is that, yeah, like, the world just feels so inclusive, and, like, all the shit that happens is, like, kind of interrelated, right? Like, Henri has popped up
ありがとう
in multiple zones, the Abyss has popped up in multiple zones, like, it feels like
たちは最近
consistent.
どうしてる気にかけて
Whereas, like, you could argue, oh, Wuthering Waves is consistent, like, oh, it has Threnodians. It's like,
みんなも
not really, like, yeah, it has Threnodians, but they act in no way the same, right? One Threnodian was so dangerous that, like, everyone had to fight everything against it, and it was like, oh my god, everything's, like, the world is gonna end. And then the other one is, like, merged with the Sentinel and is, like, doing literally nothing, like, and the worst is, like, oh no, there was a fight a while ago. Also, like, and just the inconsistency of it, too. It's like, yeah, the Threnodian
セノさんと
corrupted the Sentinel, and it was presumably had to have happened ages ago, right?
仕事のこと
But they're like, no, it's 20 years ago. I'm like, wait, what? They're like, that doesn't make sense. Like, this happened 20 years ago? How the fuck? Like, what? Like, yeah, so... Yeah, the Serena Sita is just poorly designed. But bad storytelling. Like, storytelling that is inconsistent within itself and just doesn't make any logical sense. Where it's like, oh yeah, the people got fucked over 20 years ago by the Black Tide, but like no one remembers it. The Order, which only sprung up after the Black Tide started changing its history. But then of course it's like super weird because it's like, what do you mean it's history, right? Like, it didn't have a history. It sprung up at that 20 years ago. And also, who the fuck changes the history of something that everyone is alive to remember? You know, like, that's what makes no fucking sense. You know, it's just, yeah. Anyway, sorry. That's a huge rant. It just, when I see this happening in Genshin, you know, when I see events like this happening in Genshin, where it's like, look, Master Tignari is mentioned, Cyno, even Sethos, you know?
あいつら
And so presumably we're going to go
うん
to
それは違うと教練員
We're gonna go to
決まってたから
Tignari's home
気になってきたな
and say hi to all of them. So again, like, not only are we coming back here, right?
では
Meeting characters that we, you know,
地雷戦さ
because like Sumeru was 3 years ago, you know? Because like we're in Nogpride now. Natlan and Fontaine happened between Sumeru and
私
And,
はそろそろ出発の時間だ
Nogpride, right? 2 zones. So this is
準備が
over 2 years ago
R 村に来てく
when
れ
we were introduced to Kolei. And here we are again, just being... She's popping up in quests. She's doing shit like that. And, I mean, I do get it, right? Like, Wuthering Waves is only, like, 2 years old or something like that, so it doesn't really have... It can't really do these things because, you know, it doesn't have that kind of history. So you might be like, oh, you're just being, you know, you're oh, fuck, this might be more involved than I was expecting. Oh, shit. God damn, I have 4 days to do all this. God fucking damn it. I mean, some of these will be pretty easy. Some of these are just quests, which is fine. Oh no, I see, they're all quests. The quest to start the minigames. But yeah, like, Amber and Kolei, presumably, because obviously that's Amber's little bunny. This has Dea. So Dea's popping up again. So, and this is Farazan. And like, we've had Farazan. So like, that's what I really like about this, right? It's just really cool that they, let's see, are these all pretty far away? Okay. Yeah, this is the continuation of this, which I'm not going to do right now. I'm going to quickly start Shit. Okay, I did not expect this to be a big thing. That was bad on my point. So this will take a little bit. This one, let's get this. I'm pretty sure this one is a quick one. And then, like, and here we're going back to Natland to do a dancing thing at a dancing stage, you know? And again, Natland is a year old too, right? Like, this is, you know, this area was, the release of Natland had this area, right? So it's been about a year since we first ever been here, and here we are popping back for an event. Now, even if we don't involve any actual characters, right? Even if we don't like involve any of the other, you know, characters of Natland, just the fact that we're going back here, like refreshing our memory of like, yeah, you've been here, it just makes the world feel more immersive, and that's why, you know. That's why I really like this game more, and that's why I think this game is just flat out better than Wuthering Waves. Because, like, it has created a much better open world than Wuthering Waves has. The only thing Wuthering Waves has is better is its combat. And that's the thing, is that, and just that alone will be enough for some people, right? Because most people, not really most, but a lot of people will prioritize gameplay over anything else. Where they're like, oh, well, what feels more fun to play? And to be fair, that's a very valid point, right? If Wuthering Waves feels more fun and engaging for you to play, that's fine. You know, obviously you're going to want to do that. I just think, and it's not like I couldn't play it, but I think the level of sweatiness you need for Wuthering Waves was just not super fun for me. I don't want to have to pay attention all the time for every single combat encounter. You know. I want to be able to, like, just sit. When I do the exploration content, when I do the non-directly combat-related content, I want to just chill and relax. But then they just make so much revolve around its combat, which, I mean, to be fair, when that's the only thing you do well, sure, it makes sense. But it sucks for the people who just don't want to deal with that shit. Because then it's like your game just doesn't have as much to offer, or, you know, you're compelling these people to do it anyway with the rewards that you really kind of want to get, or else you can't level up your characters as easily, you know? Or pull for new characters because you're not getting the currency you get from the stuff. So it's just like, yeah. They just don't mix the open world exploration content as well with their combat. And it just feels a little too forced and a little too disjointed with all other aspects of it. So it's like, yeah, it just doesn't feel as good. But for some people, it's like, nope, combat feels better, more difficult, more impactful. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to tell because, anyway, but yeah, so it just, yeah, this game just feels more immersive. Yeah, they just made a better open world. Wuthering Waves is not a great open world because it feels too empty and it feels too tedious to explore. And like the setting and music while definitely it was better in Renacita, where they didn't have as much destroyed buildings and ruins and stuff with really depressing music. Well, Renacita wasn't like that as much. Like they definitely had some areas where it's like, yeah, here's some brown fields. Who doesn't love dead grass fields? So yeah, but I mean, I complain about Wuthering Waves. It's not that it's bad, right? If it was bad, I would just say it's shit. It's not bad. It's just okay, right? And then I guess the shame is that it does its combat well, and so it's a shame that a game that does its combat well does everything else so mediocre, you know? Because it's like, man, it would be a great game if they just didn't fumble the ball in everything else besides combat, right? Like that's the thing. Oh, look, and you can even see Nilo and Milani in the cardboard cutout behind you. So again, it's a reference to them, even if they don't even appear, which they might at the end of the quest for all we know. So it's just like, it's just, the world feels real, right? The world feels, like the Genshin world feels lived in. It feels like there actually are people here. The people actually exist in the world. And that was the other thing too, with Wuthering Waves. Like, you practically could never see any of your characters in the world. You know? Like they just didn't exist, right? They only pop up in cutscenes sometimes, and if you don't, you can't. Like, I can't go to like Jinzo and find Dragon Girl, whatever her name is, in her office. I can't go to her office and be like, oh look, there she is. You know, I can't find Chang Li anywhere. There are some, I think, in one of the buildings. I think some of the 4 stars that might still be there. I don't know if they were only there as part for the story in 1.0, and if they're still hanging out there. But like, the NPCs just don't exist, right? They don't exist in the town they live in. You can never see them. And to some degree, you know, it's not like every single character in Genshin exists in the open world. But like if I go to Mondstadt and go into Jean's office, I think Jean might actually be there. I think Lisa might be in their library. You know. It's not like you have to have everyone there, right? Because, like, it's understandable that people have their own lives and shit. You know? So it's like, yeah, sure. Like, Kaya has his own job, so does Fischl and Amber. So having them... Now, obviously, what would make it even better is if they had an actual life, like a life cycle, where, like, you actually see them walking around throughout the day. Right next. Okay, so let's... Actually, I'm going to check that first. Oh shit, yeah, I'm going to have to do my Imaginarium at some point. And I understand, like, Mondstadt is also, like, one of the first areas, so it's like, if you are going to have them there, you're going to have them there, you know. And then you could forget about it later. Like, I don't know if Dory's in Sumeru. Let's see. Is Jean in here? No, she's not. Wait, what? Oh. See, I could have sworn I've seen her before, or maybe she only pops up for quests. Maybe Genshin isn't as good as that. Maybe the only time, maybe I just remember them being there before, and now they aren't. Which, I mean, obviously, goes against my own point. Sure, right? They're not there all the time. But the fact is that that's something you can have to make it feel more lived in. I would argue that this game doesn't really need to do that because they involve their NPCs so much in their events, because they involve the NPCs so frequently. You don't need to do that, right? Because it's like the world still feels lived in because you frequently involve them in quests. You know, she just literally mentioned Nilo, right? Nilo and Milani were on the thing there, so even if they don't appear, you know, it feels like the people in this world recognize that character. It feels like that character lives in this world. It feels like, yes, Nilo is known. She is a dancer. She dances, and people who dance know who she is, right? Because they bring her up. So it feels like she is a part of this world. Whereas, like, Wuthering Waves, you just don't feel that, because, like, people just aren't referenced or seen after they're no longer used. And, like, they don't really have a life themselves, right? Like, the people in Jinzo were just like, yeah, I guess they work. I don't even know, like, what? They work for the city or something? So a lot of the 4 and 5 stars were just, like, work for the city. I mean, like, the Tiger Boy at least did something. He's like, oh, he's a performer as well. But, like, you know, again, never referenced again. You know, so that's the thing. Is it just it's these little things that just makes it feel good, right? It's these little things that just make the world feel like, yeah, these people exist in the world remembers them. Shit, this is actually going to be a problem. Oh, I see. Damn it. Oh, I see. Yeah, the problem is I don't see a marker, and I can't hear shit because my I can't hear shit because my treadmill is making too much noise. So I'm basically using the vibrations of the stuff. I'm just kind of keeping an internal timer and using the beats of the outside ring. So you can see on the outside there's that little ring that's like pulsating. I'm basically using that as a metronome, kinda. It obviously is shit. Especially, actually, wait. I mean, look, and here they are. I was even saying, like, yeah, even if they don't appear, the fact that they are referenced alone makes them feel, lived. They have a background. They have a story. They exist in the world. Like, they have a background. They live in the world, right? Like, Milani likes to dance. Milani's a very cheerful person. Nilo literally does it for a job, right? So during a dancing event, especially in a dancing event centered at her own home, Milani's there and Nilo's there. Makes total sense. And actually, oh yeah, and that's the other thing too, is that Nilo is a dancer, but not a dancer from Natlan. We're in Natlan right now. Nilo's a dancer from Sumeru, and these Natlan people know her, right? Because she's a very famous dancer, right? Like, that's the crazy thing, right? Is that like these characters have personality, they live in the world, and they're brought up in understandable circumstances, you know? When there's a dancing event, Nilo pops up, It's these little touches where it's just like, it makes it feel like, yes, these people have their own lives, whereas like in Wuthering Waves, they never really felt like they had their own lives. They just exist for the purpose of the plot, right? Like, so Charlotte is like the head of the Montelli family, but like we never really see her do anything with the Montelli family. Like, yeah, sure, we even go to her home, kind of, that big bank, and like Zani's involved there, but like really like. And it's a local thing, right? And it does kind of suck. They did kind of mention that, yeah, like Renacida doesn't really do much with the rest of the world. But like, nothing we did in patch 1.x is even ever referenced at all in Renacida. Like, Renacida people don't even know shit, so. Oh, hello there. I'm just talking, saying how much better Genshin is than Wuthering Waves. Yet another rant about this, because in this case, it's the immersiveness of the world. I'm just saying the immersiveness of Genshin beats the shit out of Wuthering Waves, because like we just have so many events that just keep referencing older characters, right? Like, I have 2 events I haven't done at all. This one and the other one, and the other one involved Cole, and we meet Cyrus, and Cyrus is Cyno's teacher. So it's like, oh, cool. Like if you did that quest, you would be familiar with who Cyrus is, and now they're just bringing in a random NPC, well, semi-random NPC, and now and it seems like we're gonna go back to Tignari's home, so we're gonna meet Tignari, Cyno, and Sethos, and it's like, wow, it's like these people exist. Like there is this event, and now we're gonna go back and meet some of the characters we've met before, and then there's this dancing event, and Nilo, who is a popular dancer in Sumeru, is well known even in that land amongst the people who dance, which would make total sense because she's a professional dancer. So it makes sense that other people would know her if she's famous. And so when there is a dancing event and we're interacting with dancers, they bring her up. And then, it's in Milani's, and Milani's also kind of a dancer too. So she pops up as well. So it's like, it just feels so immersive because it feels like these characters actually, live in this world. And in Wuthering Waves, it's just everything's so disjointed. It's like the characters exist, but they don't really live in the world. It doesn't feel like they live in the world. They just exist and are just brought up, and are brought in when they need to be used. But it doesn't feel like they're actually like living their own life. They don't have jobs. They don't have hobbies. They don't have things they like doing. Their only purpose of existing is just to be used in the story when necessary. Whereas, like, the characters in Genshin feel more real, feel more realistic as characters, and feel more realistic within the world, which I like. And and I was also talking about, so we were we're meeting Cole, and it's like, yeah, we're meeting Cole, who popped up when Sumeru first came into existence, and that was over like 3 years ago. Because Sumeru, there was Fontaine in that land that happened between Sumeru and Nod Cry, which we're currently on. And so we're going back and referencing old characters, that were introduced 3 years ago still. Like, we're reintroducing ourselves to some Mondstadt characters, right? Like, we're getting a lot of Mondstadt characters to get some buffs because of the Hexen Circle quests that are about to happen in Nod Cry. So it's just like, and then of course, like every year we have the Chinese New Year event, which takes us back to Liyue. So it's just like the world feels lived in. We keep going back to old regions to do stuff in a way that doesn't feel like gimmicky. It feels real. So MiHoYo has made a very, very good open world game where the open world feels really immersive. And Wuthering Waves just kind of falls short in every regard besides combat. Like, the only thing that they do better is combat because of the stakes and the skill cap, or the skill requirement for it. Whereas Genshin is a little more relaxed. You don't nearly need that much skill for their combat. So yeah. But I think as a storytelling, immersive, open world game, Genshin destroys Wuthering Waves. Like, if we're talking about storytelling and immersion in an open world environment, I would say this is maybe a 9 out of 10, and Wuthering Waves is like a 6 out of 10. It's just maybe not even that, maybe even a 5 out of 10. Honestly, yeah, the fact that they openly contradict themselves within their own plot, within their own stories, within their own quests, they contradict themselves. Kind of really makes it, maybe, yeah, I guess it would probably be a 5, honestly. It's like, it's average. They have some good moments, but it's just offset. Well, no, because I guess their good moments are pretty good. They do some epic scenes, so I think it is a 6 out of 10. And they're just being held back by their constant fuck-ups with everything else they do. Although, actually, that's just pure storytelling, though. For immersive world, they are pretty shit at that, too. So maybe, yeah, if we're talking about an immersive, storytelling-rich environment with an immersive world, they probably are 5 out of 10. If we're just talking about just story, they might be a 6 out of 10. Oh, Soul of the Deep. That's Kokomi, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And so that's another interesting thing. Yeah, it's referencing Kokomi's pseudonym. I'm pretty sure Kokomi is the Soul of the Deep author. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so let me see. Okay. Oh, I see. So I just got to do this. Oh, it's a matching thing. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to do that now then. I have other shit to do, but... Okay, so that actually should be easy enough to do. Well, we'll see how many points I get per round. This one actually might be a little more difficult because not only are there mini games, which the mini games should actually be able to do in one day, even maybe one workout would be doable. But what could be the problem for this is the quest. I'm not sure how long the quest will be. But yeah, and the fact that like these events have these like actual long quests is another reason why the game just feels more immersive. But I'm going to go ahead and call it. So that will be the end of my Wuthering Waves insult stream, my Wuthering Waves rant. It's kind of the reason why I'm bringing it up, simply because I was voted for mobile game of the year, which I'm just like, nope, fuck that. Like, no way. Like, it's a bunch of people who like don't play the game. And so they're just like listening to the hype, and it's like, yeah, sure, they have some really good hype moments, but the game is not great, right? The game doesn't feel super fun to play for me. And it's not simply because I just don't like having to like pay attention for combat. It's just like the exploration of the world feels too tedious. Like Genshin, I've never felt like, despite being like behind on exploration, I never felt like, oh my god, this is so tedious. I enjoy the exploration, but there definitely are tons of moments in Wuthering Waves where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to get 100% of this zone, and it just felt tedious. It just felt like a chore, and that's not great. I mean, when that's a big portion of your game to do in between combat. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it, but thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next